Okay, folks, good morning. I'm going to go back to our standard format. I'm going to be doing some stuff that's I need less restriction. Let's put it that way. A little too restrictive. Having the camera right here. Let's clear this area for the moment. Move this for a while. All right, we got a couple pans or twos here. Three pans are three H's. Three pans are three G's. All right, we got them over here on the left-hand side. Hopefully I won't bump the shit out of them. All right, let me get all the pieces parts. These are the ones for the G. These are the ones for the H. This is when I ordered only one of each. So I'm going to take these G parts. And we're going to put them in there. And we'll do the same thing with the H parts. And normally, most normal people would probably decide what they were going to put on the vehicle, glue it, and then paint it. But since I had no idea how these were going to turn out color-wise, I mean, I would do that next time. Okay? I would do that next time. But since I didn't know how they were going to turn out, I didn't do that. But now that we have three of each, we're going to decide what kind of these extra things are going to go on each one. And of course, this is the pins are 2F and the 2C. So I'm probably going to glue them on there, unpainted, and then paint them on there. That makes the most sense for me. So, first of all, I'm going to go to the website here for the Kulan models, Kulan miniatures. Sorry, I got sidetracked on somebody doing a review. It was like the the good and bad. I'm like, how could you say anything bad about these? People will just find shit to bitch about. Okay. Um, Man, I'm not sure which is his. Let me go to his Facebook page. Here's his website. Okay. Let's see if I click on this, does it give me a lot of other. It does. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to go on here and we're going to. I'm just going to scroll. Man, he's got a lot of Shermans too. All in due time. All in due time. Okay, this is hard to find. So I'm getting all the War Game 3D shit, even if it's not his models. All right, first of all, let's open this in an external browser. And let's go to desktop site. Thank you. Okay. I'm looking for the set here that this comes from. Okay, this is the 3H. There we go. Good Lord, it took for a long time. Okay. So I'm just going to set things on them. The H's are these. All right, so let's grab the H's. I'm just going to set stuff on them so I can make my decision on what they each get. Okay, so let's grab the pack that has the H stuff. It might be one of those things where I want to prime them and then glue them on there, or just on the fly. So this is all the H stuff. Okay. Well, for starters, let's get our pair of tweezers so we can handle these things a little bit better. The front of this track is bulged, and it's bulged because two of these road wheels are sitting on there. So these ones that have the bulge on the tracks almost certainly are going to have these extra road wheels there. Otherwise, it wouldn't have bulged to begin with. Let's move this in from the edge, so I'm not going to be bending over and okay. So we're going to need to do that. Where's the other one? And I could look at I could look at pictures online of these and make my own decisions. That's going to take a lot of time. So I figure if this guy designed these things as well as he did, he's probably looked at a few pictures of what they look like. And besides, I'm probably going to have more than 3 of these at some point, and I can just wing the other ones. Okay? And this one does not have these on the front because it doesn't have a little bend there. Okay? So this one could be one that could have this additional track armor here. And it's nice because it'll end up covering over one of the areas that actually has the little the lines on it. Now, let me use my wisdom. And we're going to take a tiny little piece of white tack. Okay. All right. Interesting. Both of these have this area where these boxes and stuff goes on the back. There's a row of jerry cans and some boxes, but the problem is, and they're in like this little frame. The problem with this is I don't want to use 2 of them because they're exactly the same, and it's not necessarily a problem with the jerry cans, but you've got these boxes that are kind of haphazardly at an angle, and I'm fine with that, but they wouldn't be exactly the same on 2 of them. So, and they have the deck here for this to go on. So if I go and put one of them like, let's see, let me think how they go. If it sits like that on one, then I can't really use the same one because it has exactly the same boxes. So it would be one of those things that I can put it on there and then put a piece of cloth or whatever so it's covered and you don't see exactly what's underneath there. So that's a possibility. And as a matter of fact, cut some of these off so it doesn't have the same, because it's kind of unusual that it has the 2 boxes that are just kind of haphazardly put in there. So what looks like one of them is an ammo box, and the other one's probably for ammunition for the gun, and one's like machine gun ammo. So it'd be weird that they would both be that way. So I'm going to set this here. Now this has a different back where this isn't really meant to fit on there because it's got the cable and stuff. So I'm going to set that one off to the side. There's a spare piece, there's a smaller piece of track here that is in this location. And inclusively, one of them can have this one that has that piece of track with the sandbags. And it's nice because I only painted the crooked coconut on one of them. I hate to have painted it, done a good job, and oh yeah, you're going to cover it up with this. Like, thanks. So these other 2 that have these spares, I'm going to move them off to the side as well because they're literally exactly the same. This one that does not have anything on it is for the roof, looks like. looks like it sits up here like this, avoiding the vent fan in the roof. Oh, again, if I use one, I don't want to use the other one. So I'm going to take the other two and then move them off to the side. This front here has a road wheel stuck to it. That's kind of nice. That's another variation of this. Let me make sure that's not in the G. So that would go like, that's not pictured anywhere. There are smaller things, there are smaller sandbags. And like one of them is like draped over here, made to fit nicely around the lights. And there are see, we've got a bunch of helmets. Lots of little pith helmets. Good morning, Tritarch. Top of the early morning for you. Okay, this is the same as the one on the roof, okay? We've already picked one from the one on the roof. We haven't picked one of these yet. We got some water bottles. We got pith helmets galore. It almost makes me want to take some of my figures, lop off their helmet, put that on there. I certainly have enough of them I could experiment with that with. Don't worry, I got coffee. That's right. Yeah, brother. That's the survival for all of us, is having coffee. But first, coffee. And then this is like a little stacked. I'm not sure where they expect for this to go, but that's mainly the meat and potatoes. I just gotta figure out where this is gonna go. If I even want to use it, I could use it on. I could use it on the G. I'm an idiot. It wasn't attached to one piece. It was lodged in there. Okay. Thank you. Okay. I don't know about dangling all these water bottles on it. It looks a little bit Gypsy Caravan-ish. I don't know that I like that. I could use that on trucks or something like that. Um, so this one, they have this one pictured like this. And that's fine because that actually happens to be one that doesn't have the I didn't paint the little Afrika symbol, which would have been annoying to go ahead and paint it. and then it gets covered up. Can I put this front armor? No, this is a little, that one's a little bigger. Can I put this front armor section and then still put these little road wheels on it? Let's see. Wow, it actually sits there. I think I'm gonna be able to. Okay. And then this, I don't mind having something on the back of two of them, but I have to lop pieces off of that and put some cover over it so they don't look exactly the same. Because like I said, it's got those two boxes that are just, they're haphazardly thrown on there, which is good, but you don't want them to be both haphazardly thrown on in exactly the same positioning. So I'd have to get rid of these two boxes in the middle and then cover this somehow, because also the jerry can here is cockeyed a little bit, which looks great, but it would be unusual that it would turn out that way. So to be continued. So I think I don't know that I don't know that I like the sandbags on the roof. I don't know that I like the sandbags on maybe sandbags on the roof of that one. Sandbags on the front here. This like this. This one with the stuff on the back. Now it means I'm going to have to find other creative places to put the Afrika Korps symbol, because I do want to do it, especially since it turned out so well. Oh, I actually wasn't expecting it to have this other zoom in thing. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, we've got like little the helmets that are stuck on the back. Well, that looks good. Oh, and he's got another. On the one without anything, it has this just floating out here. Well, the problem is there's nothing grabbing it. There's not a bracket. It's just sitting there. Whereas this actually has an actual bracket on it. Okay, so we'll do that. We'll paint up one of, could use a smaller piece of track here to mix it up a little bit. That one will go here with it. There's one of these that has almost like little tracks on the corner, and they have them stacked up. Yeah, I actually don't mind a little. I don't mind the little helmets on the back. That kind of makes sense. So what I can do on this one is leave this one as is. Cut some of this stuff off and then put a tarp on it and then put these little helmets glued on the back with those showing. Let's do that. Let's make sure we're picking the best one here. And then I'm going to prime these by hand, because some things like this piece of track, I don't want any light gray from the backside, and that's going to be really hard to pull off. So this one, well, I didn't want that to happen. This one I may glue in place, because we're going to end up tarping it over it. And then probably glue some helmets on it and then put a tarp over that. But I want some of the cans to show. All right, so this one is going to go with these three. Then this one, with this one, and this one. And then this one with these bits, this, and these. And let's do 3 helmets on the back of this one, of those. Well, let's just paint a 4th one. It will be okay. I don't want to hang any from here because I'm going to cover over the number. That's all we're going to do for now. I'm going to take the rest of these parts and we're going to put them in the H box. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand paint these. I'm going to hand primer these black, and we'll paint the parts on there because I don't want something underneath showing. Now, it doesn't mean I won't use some of this stuff on the G. I just want to put the pieces that are meant to go with the pieces that they're meant to go with first. Okay, the G is here. Now let's go on his webpage and find the 3G. L Bison. Here it is. How many tanks do I have total? Well, I have 3 H's, 3 G's, 2 Panzer IIs, and a Panzer IV for the Afrika Korps. I assume you meant for the Afrika Korps. Because tanks total, I don't know, 200 probably. And I would think that I'm exaggerating, but I've checked them. I've got that many. Okay, so one of these has this stupid track over the top of it. I'm not a fan of that. First of all, you're covering up over my number, which is okay. Now, there's actually a little bubble, a resin bubble here, so that might actually not be so bad to put that over it. It's not like it doesn't have the 2 on there, and you still see the 211, so that's probably not so bad to do that. Come on. Okay, this also has the little road wheels. Are the road wheels different from the one to the other? They are. Okay, well, there you have it. These have the little road wheels. That this is bulged, and it's bulged because these little guys are on here adding the weight to it. So that guy's going to have 2. This guy's going to have 2. Okay. There's also these line of sandbags that goes across the front. I think the machine gun goes, it goes underneath the machine gun. Gotta put a shit in that side first, like so. I mean, it's made to fit on there. And there's like a line of there's a big thing of jerry cans and a small thing of jerry cans. This one doesn't have as many accoutrements. Now, this doesn't have spare tracks, but the tracks are exactly the same from one to the other. So I'm going to come over here in the H pile. That's why I did this on purpose. And I'm going to steal one of those, and that fits nicely in between. It should fit nicely in between those two on there. Actually, this one has a piece of track with the sandbags. Now, it's the same as this one, so I don't want them to both look the same. So I could trim some of the sandbags off. So that can go like that. And longer piece of track here. Here we go. Piece of track that would go like that. So that one can have that as well. We've already used that. We've already used this. These jerry cans sit like this. The hell do they attach? I think they removed this little. I don't see that on there. So weird to see a Panzer III or a Panzer IV without the little box in the back. Like that's just like looks so awkward. Yeah, they have this one sitting glued like this at an angle. Okay, no problem there. Now what about this large one? I think I'd remove that little barrier too. Now some of these things, if there was a spot here, sometimes they have like a little notch, and they could be put beside there like that. But we're not going to do any major kind of conversion, especially since we're not trying to replicate some particular vehicle. Yeah, it's weird. That's weird that's like that. Here's an innovative idea. I wonder if it's meant to be there. That sounds crazy, but it's the same length. Well, if it's meant to be up there, I'm not putting them up there because that just looks ridiculous. Yeah, because it's right next to the piece that goes over the roof. Like it's a one or the other type of option. Okay, so, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to, at this point, finish them one at a time. How many tanks you have? So roughly a tank platoon. German unit sizes may be different World War II versus now. Tank platoon is roughly 4 tanks. Usually the German platoons had 4 tanks as well. Some of these in the order of battle have 5. Really, that's kind of the upper limit. So that last number on a German tank of the 3-digit is never higher than 5, unless they're using fake numbers and trying to mess somebody up. So we're going to do the same thing with this. I'm going to move these guys a little bit further back. And I'm also going to is this the one that has the G? Yeah, I'm also going to possibly add some tracks to the front of those. The whole point is to make them look all different. I mean, they do look all different. They all have different numbers and so forth, but give them even more personality. The problem is the British vehicles I have don't have any of this extra stuff on them, nor do I have extra bits. So I may have to, and I haven't done that before. I've painted a lot of tanks, but I've never done this kind of customization because the models didn't come with that much stuff, you know. And you can get into an analysis paralysis type thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick one of these and we're going to add the stuff to it. So the one I'm going to choose to do first is the one that's actually done all the way. So we're going to take these bits and we're going to prime them. And I think what I'm going to do is use these bottle caps for that purpose. So I should be able to attach this like this. And if I was to do this again, I'd probably go ahead and decide how they're going to be and then glue the stuff on there. But honestly, I'd never done this extra stuff on any of the tanks, so it was new territory for me. Actually, let's not do it that way. Let's use a little bit of this that's inside the diameter of the tire, of the wheel, so that we can make sure that we get to all the edges. And I've actually never put this much detail into getting the numbers correct on a unit because of the micromark list. I have access to the information, so I might as well try to make it as accurate as possible. And I'm making these specifically for a specific unit in a specific battle. Not that they can't be used in other things, but the two Panzer divisions that were in the Afrika Corps had different numbering systems. And to be honest, I don't like either one of them that they used. I dislike this one less than the other one, than the 21st Panzer Division. I don't like the numbering system they used, which is basically putting a huge number on the side of the turret that goes over all kinds of things that are sticking out, which means you can't use a decal, because if you use a decal, the numbers are going to be of different length depending on how much stuff it goes over. And it just looks weird. So you'd have to hand paint them, and it doesn't look good on real tanks. If it doesn't look good on a real tank, it's not going to look good on a miniature. But hey, I didn't design them. I didn't tell the Germans to be a bunch of Nazis, so don't blame me. This one used the just one large number per company, and I've seen some vehicles that have the individual smaller number on them as well, and all of mine will have both. I don't want three tanks to both have a number 1, and that would totally be appropriate, but not very useful for my purposes. Okay, so here's the accoutrement. Now I'm going to move these guys back of this first Panzer III, and we're going to prime this stuff. And shit, I could probably do another one as well. How are we on time? Or not? Let's just baby steps. I am not looking forward to today. Today is going to be a bitch at work. Yesterday should have been easy, and it wasn't. That was my own mistake for thinking, wow, it's going to be easy. Shut your fucking mouth. You think, work's going to suck until you're retired. Let's hear the times you used up all their water to boil spaghetti. I don't know if that's the case, but... So supposedly, what I read a long time ago was that the Italians had the best rations. The British captured a bunch of Italian tanks, and they really had their prize. They had like peaches and shit like that in like tins, like fruit and shit. Like that's like, like, yeah. Hey, we gotta have the fruit for the troops. But one of the problems is most of the supplies, I think I'm correct on this, most of the supplies that the Axis sent to North Africa didn't make it. I mean, they got like 40% of their supplies. So, they actually did really well considering that. And yes, I'm gonna do eye ties at some point. When I went to Europe, that was one of the things I was looking for, is to get a better price in those Italeri M1340s. But nobody had those kits. Nobody had those 2-pack kits. Because what makes them expensive here is, they add the shipping onto them. Okay, this might be a little tricky. As the saying goes, I've had worse. And we're not going to fool around with super glue. We're going to epoxy these down. Well, the British use their water to brew up tea. And I don't know about you, but I don't really want hot tea in the desert. Or hot coffee. I don't want anything hot in the desert. I don't want hot coffee or hot tea right now. It's, I don't know, what is it, 40 something degrees? Something like that? It's probably the same temperature you have. You might be a little bit colder. We had a rain a couple days ago that pretty much rained all day long. And set the pace for that front coming in. I think by the end of the weekend it's going to be warm again. All the pollen will be out like exploding. $26 here. What does it say that it's here? 32. I had to go to my mom's house and cover her plants. These people that have plants, man, they cause way too much trouble. Like, you're a fucking plant, man. Sit there. It's not like it's, orange trees or something. It's like not doesn't even give fruit. It's just ornamental. Fortunately, my wife kills plants. I mean, she can't get shit to grow, so. I was always one of the things that I hated the most as a kid. Go out and water the azaleas. Oh, fuck. And azaleas just take forever to water. And it's not like you had like a cell phone, right? Somebody's like, all right, I'm going to go water the plants and I'll surf the web while I'm doing it. Nope. Can't do nothing. It's 1982, man. You can't do anything else. I'm going to try to cover as much of this as I can. I don't want some some light colored little surprise you can see underneath. All right. What is that? Like a flake of paintbrush or something. Okay. That should be able to dry it just fine. Your dad has a greenhouse and overwinters his herbs, and they've done fine so far. It rarely gets super cold here anyways. Yeah. I can deal with the cold that you and I have, because you guys don't get any snow either, although it's probably snowed there before. But it's just as hot there as it is here. And we have hardly any breeze. And bugs, man, F bugs. I can handle being hot, man. Swatting shit while you're hot, and not my idea of a good time. Okay, so these are the parts that are going to go on this Panzer III, and that's what we're going to proceed with next. So, and yeah, is that accurate? Okay. Yep. That's it for today, and then we'll be back on. I don't know if I'll be back on this evening, but I'll definitely be on tomorrow morning. We get snow, it's rare. The stars and planets got to align right to get a decent amount. Okay, folks.